My name is Ron Little, and I live in a little village of Ashley, which is just outside Dover in Kent. Grandparents to 7 children. The eldest is 20 years old and the youngest is 18 months old. We became kinship carers back in 2000 when we took on my Molly and Mitch. Her mother died, unfortunately, and we took them on, and we've had them ever since. Molly was 7 and Mitch was 2. She had her partner and they were very happy together, but then they started to drift apart a little bit, and Tammy decided to move out from the home. Her partner was obviously mentally ill because he had been taken into care a couple of times, put on medication, and which was calming him down, but unfortunately in November 2000, he had a breakdown in his health, and the police were very worried about Tammy's safety, so they actually alarmed her with an alarm in the house. And on this goodly day, they were seen arguing in the local play park. We don't know what they were arguing about, but obviously something to do with the children, as far as we know. And she went home to her bungalow, and unfortunately he lost the plot at about 6, 7 o'clock that evening and broke into the bungalow, strangled Tammy. Molly, at the time while he was trying to break in, she set the alarm off with the police, but by the time the police got there, she was dead, and he was just sitting on the sofa with the 2 children. It's a funny one, this one, because we are what we call kinship carers of Molly and Mitch, and it's a nice, comfortable feeling being kinship carers. I was listening to the local radio station one day, and the president of the Grandparents Association was given a talk about what the association does, and I thought, oh, because this was after we got children, I thought, oh, they might be able to help me out a little bit. And it was coincidental that I think the AGM was coming up a couple of weeks later, and I was invited to come up to it. And at this AGM, they asked if anyone would like to be a trustee. Now, I put up my hands with about 3 other people, and I didn't think I'd really get there, but they did. They said, oh, you're a trustee now, and didn't really know anyone at the time, but it was good 2 or 3 years that it was more than 2 or 3 years I had as a trustee, but I felt it was time to move on and let someone else come in. I am a member of the Grandparents Association as well as Val. We get this magazine, I'm sure it's quarterly, I've forgotten now, but I think it is. And I mean, there's always a report from the executive, Lynn Chesterman, and then there's little snippets from different grandparents of their problems. And then we often get a lawyer's part where the lawyers sort of say, well, look, you're not getting this, you should be getting it. Or if you're not, contact me, with phone numbers, all sorts of advice lines. And generally, it's a very handy little bit of information, but nicely put together. As far as I'm aware, with the advice line, people have all sorts of problems, and I'm quite happy to listen to their problems and hopefully guide them into the right direction. You can't actually give them too many answers, but you guide people to say, well, if that's your problem, here's a telephone number, talk to them. In that sort of frame of mind, we are only advisors, cannot give answers.